We're going to ping pong between Republicans and Democrats until someone brings significant changes for the better. But no, we're going to do that until we bring not someone else, not another candidate. No, it's us. It's only us. That's the only thing that matters. Okay, let's go. Let's get into it. Let's get into Zoran. First off, and so it begins. Right after Mamdani was sworn in on a Quran at midnight, boxes of NYPD uniforms have been abandoned on the side of the road. Good luck, New York City. What the fuck? He fucking Thanos snapped the NYPD, dude, and I missed it. So he went, I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling so good, Mr. Cuomo. There have been some really funny ones. Laura Loomer's was the funniest. One thing I don't see anyone talking about is how Zoran Mamdani had the AG of New York swear him in as mayor on a Quran inside a tunnel. This is 100% an homage to Hamas and the globalize the Intifada moment. He is signaling the beginning of his Islamic conquest from a tunnel. My only thought about this is Laura, this is New York City, okay? Jewish people build the tunnels in New York City, okay? Okay, come on now. We are not that far away. We cannot just ignore the Jewish tunnel situation in New York. Wide range of interpretations here. Historic. Zoran Mamdani became the first NYC mayor to take his oath of office where the Ninja Turtles live. Millennials have officially taken power. Matter of fact, why are we giving tunnels to Hamas, okay? The original great tunnel builders were the Vietnamese. All right, once again, Vietnam just getting totally fucking ignored. What the fuck? I also saw this. There's like literally every person on the right, and I just feel like there's so much to talk about with regards to how the right wing and a lot of billionaires are reacting to this. So let's listen in real quick.
We will draw this city closer together. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism.
Yeah. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. And I mean, you can go to this post and just like view the quote tweets. It's all like a bunch of right wing, I mean, people are just like crashing out. And it really is. It's like a lot of like billionaires, a lot of like very rich people. And there's a reason. And I tweeted about it here. I like this tweet. I'm proud of this tweet. Boost this tweet because I think it actually is a good summation of where I think we're going, and it's something that I don't think is talked about enough. Isn't it funny how much this statement is infuriating the billionaire class? It's because they desperately need power to be individualized. They know as individuals we are powerless against their wealth. It's only when workers unionize and collectivize their power through strikes that workers win anything. It's only when tenants collectivize their power and force a landlord to negotiate through rent strikes that tenants win anything. This year and every year going forward, our power is in each other. Occasionally, that may manifest in a political office like it has in New York City, but that's not the critical part. The critical part is recognizing the power that we already possess through collectivizing our struggle with people experiencing the same struggles we are. That is like, this is the reason that individualism is worshipped in America. It's because they want you to be a poor, powerless individual. When everybody's on the same playing field and we're all just individuals, of course the capitalists they're going to be undefeatable. Me versus Elon Musk, me versus anybody who has money, you're going to lose that fight 100 times out of 100. But if you recognize that your place in that dynamic and you find other people who are also going through that, and you can build power together and you can collectivize your struggle together, now you're actually in a position to be able to challenge the powers that make your life the way it is. You can actually demand change and be listened to. That's the first thing I want to say before we start all this Zoran, because we're going to glaze. We are going to glaze tonight. I'll tell you that right now. Zoran's election was a result of working people collectivizing their power through a lot of tenant unions, through a lot of Asian American organizations, through various different political organizations where people got together, realized that they were dealing with the same struggle, and chose to stand side by side so that they had more power to be able to fight it. That is the coalition that Zoran built. And it's really important that that coalition, continues to stay engaged, which is why I will bring my first Zoran W. My first Zoran W is that Zoran today signed an executive order creating a new Office of Mass Engagement to be led by Tasha Van Alken, the mastermind of the campaign's field strategy. Idea is to bring the campaign's movement building expertise to city governments and give a voice to those typically left out of it. This is Zoran positioning himself towards the coalition that got him elected. That's huge. This is exactly what I want to see. This is exactly what I want to see. That he's building an entirely new office in the mayor's, in the mayor's room. That is literally just being accountable to organization, to political organization, giving them a reason to organize. This is huge, and I fuck with this. Full stop. There's been moments where I've been like, Zoran's washed. There's been moments when I'm like, hey, this looks pretty good. Right now, I'm incredibly bullish. I really, really, really I love what Zoran did in the last 48 hours. I think it's been really, really, really promising. This is also what Zoran did. So Zoran got inaugurated, had his big old block party, passed out hot chocolate to everybody working there, and then got his ass in a car on the subway. I don't know how he got there, but he went to Brooklyn to a fucking apartment property where tenants are unionizing, and he listened to them. He walked through their apartments. Dude, this is so sick, and it is performative, but it's performing an accountability to the people who got him elected. And I'm never going to be mad at that. You're performing your solidarity, and that's a beautiful thing. We should all be thrilled about this.
With the inauguration of Zoran Mamdani today, sworn in as New York City's 112th mayor and already taking executive actions. Sonia Rincon with more on the history-making day at City Hall.
But we're going to begin with Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo and how the mayor says he's already delivering on some of his campaign promises.
This was not as much a celebration as it was validation. Housing is a human right. Fight. For tenants who have felt forgotten until now.
This is really rare for somebody, a mayor, to come to the tenants to hear what we have to say, to hear what we're going through.
Dude, I'm getting fucking goosebumps. I'm actually I feel like I'm feeling the hype that everybody else is feeling. You know what I mean? I'm okay. He did it. He got me. But it's also dude, I don't know. I was watching a video earlier on Fox Business of a bunch of people talking about Zoran, and they were his coalition is mostly just rich, old, rich, privileged white people. It's no, you dumbass. This is it's just a lie. His coalition are tenant unions, minority advocacy groups. That's who is in his coalition. It's these people. Bro, go to a tenant union meeting. You're not looking at it doesn't look like a DSA meeting. I'll tell you that. It's not academic. It's people who don't have anything and are doing the last resort that they have. They're collectivizing their power out of desperation and learning how to wield that from a place of power. That's this is the fucking secret. And that's why I'm saying 2026 is the year of the tenant. I'm calling it right now. Here's my evidence. So that's my prediction. Here's my evidence.
Yes, corporations are taking over the housing market, but tenants are taking this head on by organizing these mega landlords' entire portfolios. It's happening across the country and it's working. Take Capital Realty Group, one of the largest owners of affordable housing in the country, owning 14,000 units nationwide. After facing black mold, broken ACs, collapsing ceilings, and pests, tenants across 6 states, Missouri, Montana, Connecticut, Kentucky, Michigan, and Colorado, organized and unionized over 1,500 units, 10% of Capital Realty's portfolio. This is the largest portfolio tenant union in U.S. history. And Capital receives millions of dollars from HUD, our tax dollars. For instance, the slumlord got a $19 million check from HUD in 2022 for substantial renovations for a building in Kansas City.
Where the fuck are all these people who are super concerned about fraud? These fucking slumlords are taking $19 million checks from the government and keeping people fucking in unsafe conditions.
Did they fix the dirty air ducts, pest infestations, and flooded basements that Casey tenants repeatedly reported? No. But Capital did pay people to literally assault and intimidate their own tenants during a rally. But tenants weren't deterred. That same day, they launched 200 newly unionized units in Denver. This campaign against another corporate landlord, OSPM Properties, proves that tenant unions aren't just possible in big cities. The Kentucky Tenant Union is unionizing from Louisville to Appalachia. The landlord, Jason Ostro, owns 6 properties, 355 units across the state with support from the federal government, making about $3.5 million per year off of just rent from these properties. After facing delayed repairs, mold, literal assaults from property managers, and intimidation from staff who wore a "fuck the tenant union" shirt on the property, the Kentucky Tenant Union is organizing across all 6 properties, unionizing 2 of them since last June. Lastly, Alpha Capital, which owns 400 units across working class neighborhoods in Connecticut and has a wannabe landlord influencer as its CEO.
We sold off another building, which was 2 12-unit buildings in Hartford, because tenant basis where we were was
Streamer landlord? Who is this guy?
I'm thinking that yellow. 2,200. This is more 30. $3,800.
This thing looks like it's gonna fall over.
Michael.
Dude, this is all money that he's taking from, like, outside of rent. Money that he's taking from his tenants, forcing them to do the laundry. If you're paying for your laundry at your landlord, these are just on Amazon. Just look up like your model. You can just buy a coin laundry machine keys set. It's very easy. Just so everybody knows. If we have a leader like Zoran who's pointing and leading from the front, you know, standing alongside these tenants who are fighting this, like, yeah, it's going to get a lot bigger. And so Zoran, on his very first day, choosing to go to this press conference, choosing to stand in solidarity with these tenants, I can't. It gives me so much hope.
And this?
Yes, it was like mold.
Mayor Mamdani left the spotlight at City Hall and made a beeline to visit someone's dilapidated bathroom in Brooklyn.
For too long, bad landlords have been allowed to mistreat their tenants with impunity. That ends today.
That's right.
The new mayor marked a new era in tenant rights, signing 3 executive orders. One of them to revive the mayor's office to protect tenants, announcing the city will go toe-to-toe in court with the owner of 85 Clarkson Avenue, a landlord giant.
Stepping in to represent the interests of the city and the interests of the tenants and say, once and for all, who this government will be fighting for.
Tenants who live in the landlord's 93 buildings across the city that the mayor says have racked up thousands of violations, including where Mildred lives with her granddaughter.
This is Brooklyn. That almost blew up last week, right?
Oh, no. Yeah, the city should buy it. If this place is up for auction, the city should buy it and they should renovate it. And then they should sell it to the tenants. Yeah, they should sell it to the tenants.
When did this happen?
I can't remember exactly the year.
A year?
More than years.
Mayor Zoran Mamdani inspecting broken floor tiles in an apartment on Clarkson Avenue in Prospect Lefferts Gardens, getting a first-hand look at the deteriorating conditions from an eroding bathtub surface.
Okay, also, like, you guys need to understand, if your tub doesn't work, like, that kind of fucks up your entire life. If you're only able to take a shower like once a week, like that fucks your life up. You can lose your job. You can, not get a good, good luck going to an interview. And I know maybe this is controversial on twitch.tv because we like the most successful creators on this platform don't shower. And they all smell like shit. But actually, if you're a working person, smelling like shit is a huge liability. Don't forget Eric Adams put his picks on the rent guidelines board last minute, meaning Zoran might not be able to freeze the rent for next year. Can he fire them? He needs to go in and some people's heads must roll. I don't care.
Corroded bathroom pipe and red paint splashed about.
And you told the landlord about this?
Yes.
And what was the response?
Call some numbers, but nobody want to do anything about it.
Residents in this same building and in others owned by the landlord Pinnacle Realty say they've experienced similar conditions.
Wait, that's also they're kind of hiding the lead here. This is Pinnacle Realty is the landlord of 140 buildings in New York City. Okay? Tenants across the entire portfolio are unionizing. They realize that when they spread out their capital so wide in 140 buildings, they can afford to have like one or two buildings go on rent strike. But if the entire city, they can bring down this massive fucking company. These mega companies that for the longest time in America, we were powerless as to what they could do and what our lives, the conditions of we have to raise our children in. We were powerless to do anything about it. And now tenants are recognizing the power that they already hold. That if we don't pay rent, their mortgages don't get paid.
Leaking bathroom ceilings to moldy drywall. Tenant unions rallying in response, demanding stronger tenant.
Wouldn't it be based if Mamdani just buys the company and incorporated it into social housing? That's what I was saying too.
In those buildings alone, there are more than 5,000
Thank you for the bits,
open
Andrew.
hazardous violations and 14,000 complaints. This is an untenable situation. So today we are announcing that we will be taking action in the bankruptcy case, stepping in to represent the interests of the city and the interests of the tenants and say once and for all who this government will be fighting for.
This is the fucking goods, man. I don't know what to tell you, bro. It's the fucking goods. I went over this, but like we have so much fucking money in this country, and like for the cost of one missile, we can house so many people. I like Zoran, but I want to see even more. I think what Zoran is doing is the bare minimum, in my opinion, but maybe I'm too idealist. Listen, the truth is, it's not up to Zoran. And if you're putting all of that hope and you're like expecting him to solve America's housing crisis, you're going to be let down. The truth is, we need to recognize the power that we hold within us. That we already, as tenants, have that power, and we can fight back. And this is how it happens. So Zoran even highlighting a tenant union, going and spending time with them, bringing the cameras, like all of that is incredibly important. That builds the power of tenants as a political class. And when other people in New York City start seeing that these tenants got what they asked for, they came together and they demanded change and they got the change, a lot of other people are going to be like, what the fuck? There's a way I can get my landlord to repair my building? Oh, I'm doing that. You know? Okay, we're going to something else now. Because I'm not done drinking billionaire tears. Hogan and Elon had a conversation about Zoran here. And I can't prepare you for how idiotic this is.
I spent a lot of time with him, and he's a product of his time, but he is not evil.
No, I don't think he's evil either. But if you look at the media coverage,
the media treats him like he's super evil. Yeah,
it's pretty shocking if you look at the amount of negative coverage. Like one of the things that I looked at the other day was mainstream media coverage of you, Trump, a bunch of different public figures, and then
it's like
Mamdani.
96% negative or something crazy.
Yeah. And then Mamdani, which is like 95% positive.
Right.
What? Are you serious? We're gonna act like there's not a shitload of hate?
I mean, Mamdani is a charismatic swindler.
This is an old video, no? Oh, I guess it is from 2 months ago.
I mean, you got to hand it to him. Like he can light up a stage, but he has just been a swindler his entire life.
As opposed to you, Mr. buys his way into already successful companies and then runs them into the ground. We're at a tipping point, and I feel like we're always at that tipping point. But I feel very strongly that like the American population wants rebellion. They want radical change. Trump is not bringing radical change. He never was here for that. And I think after Trump, you're going to see a lot of Trump voters who are like, okay, well, that didn't work. My life still fucking sucks. I need actual radical change. And they're going to, hopefully we have on the left, we have enough power and we have leadership that is able to explain that you have the power. That you shouldn't be waiting for somebody else to come in here and change things. Change things in your life. Collectivize the power of the situations that are not okay with your life. The things that aren't right about the way you live and the way that the capitalist class forces you to live, you can change that. You got to find other people who are also experiencing that same problem. And it doesn't matter what the problem is. If it's a shitty landlord, if it's like, you know, your workplace, there are other people who are, it's very, very hard to find a working class problem that truly affects only one person. There are always other people experiencing exactly what you're experiencing, and you are stronger together. If you organize alongside of those people, you can accomplish anything. That's the truth. We can fix it. We got us. We're going to ping pong between Republicans and Democrats until someone brings significant changes for the better. But we're going to do that until we bring not someone else, not another candidate. No, it's us. It's only us. That's the only thing that matters. You are in this chat. That's a beautiful thing. You know, with all the 30,000 people in Hassan's chat, that's a beautiful thing. You guys are engaging in a politics of compassion and empathy. That's great, but that's not praxis. That doesn't actually make any difference to the capitalists that actually have power in your life. You know what I mean? Politics is not a spectator sport. It's not something that you can just understand and that we move forward with a good understanding and the world somehow gets better around us. That's not how that works. You know, we gotta start putting it into practice. We have to start like less theory, less, learning and more practice. We need to actually be fighting the fights. We need to be picking big fights with powerful people and winning. That's the only way we get out.